Hello and welcome. What a ride we're on. What a trip. What an adventure. I invite you to take a couple of deep breaths with me before and as we say the healer's prayer. Why? We do the breaths to bring us into this present moment. Right here, right now. This is where all of our power is. The past, it's just stories. The future, it's just imagination. Right here, right now. That's what's real. That's where all my power is. So when I focus on the breath, I'm right here, right now. I start every morning with the healer's prayer. I say it several times throughout the day. I start this meeting with the healer's prayer because it allows me to get the fuck out of the way. So that's why. And I invite you to do that with me. Of course, it's your choice. We've all been given free will. We get to choose. I am here to be truly helpful. I am here to represent him who sent me. I do not need to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever he wishes. Knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. So, Friday, week 7. Every day I've been showing up to do this unwind, to look at the thoughts, to look at the insane thought system, to look without judgment. It's not been an easy ride. At first I was fighting the ego. I was breaking the golden rule of A Course in Miracles. According to Kenneth Wapnick, the golden rule of A Course in Miracles is do not make the error real and then try to fix it. The error being the ego. So this world was over long ago. It's a script I'm watching. It's a movie. Who I am cannot be touched by the images on the screen. So the practice of A Course in Miracles, super simple. And it's super easy once you get it. Once you get what you're doing. It took me a while to get the simplicity of it. I'm just to watch without judgment. The ego judges. So if I can watch without judgment, I'm not being the ego. That's how simple it is. The ego can't not judge. So if I'm looking at something without judgment, I'm not the ego. Holy Spirit asks of us but this, that we bring all of our secret thoughts to him. So the unwinding, we're asking, I'm looking at devastation, reminding the mind that what it sees is false. That's the miracle. I am the miracle. as the decision maker, as the right mind looks at the wrong mind without judgment. This is the key, without judgment. The right mind is the peace, the Holy Spirit, the part of our mind that remembers the oneness. And the wrong mind, the ego, the insane voice talking to itself, that's not me. I am not the shit show. And so again, today, I had so many perfect opportunities to choose again. That's what we're asked to do, to just choose again, choose again, choose again. So twice today, I found myself not at peace, and it was really quick and easy to get myself back. I could see peace instead of this. So once I recognize that I'm not at peace, that I've lost my peace, I've been riding this wave of peace for 2 weeks now, so it's quite noticeable. And Kenneth Wapnick says this, like, we need to just get really sensitive to when we're not at peace. Become really sensitive to when I'm not at peace, so that when I find out I'm not at peace, I can quickly practice the course. What am I practicing? Choosing again. I could see peace instead of this, and I get to choose peace. I choose peace or I choose the chaos. I must have chosen wrongly because I'm not at peace. It's so simple. I can either see through truth or through perception. Perception is the ego, and that's where all the stories are, the thoughts, the beliefs. That's not who I am. Really getting that. If you're not, if you're having a struggle with that, it's okay. It's a journey. Go watch Kenneth Wapnick, You Are the Dreamer of the Dream. Watch it 20 times if you need to. I did. Go listen to Keith Kavanaugh videos. Allow him to walk you through the process. The sole responsibility of the miracle worker is to accept the atonement for himself. So we have to be willing. We have to be willing to accept the atonement for ourselves. There is no other. There is no other. I'm only doing this for myself. So, today, I am a happy learner. And who I am cannot be touched by images on the screen. My ego wants me to believe otherwise. My ego wants me to identify with it. I'm reminded of the revolver scene, the elevator scene from Revolver. Have you seen it? Holy shit. Watch it. It's on YouTube. It was hard to watch the first time I saw it. Now that I'm fully separated from the ego, that's what it is. I see it for what it is. Once you see it for what it is, it's exactly like the Wizard of Oz. It's amazing how all of these messages have been around this whole time. When I left Master Sha, I found out the power was within me the whole time. It wasn't coming from him. I don't need all of these fucking certificates that I spent thousands of dollars to achieve. The power doesn't come from there. Those are the ruby slippers. The power comes from me. The Wizard of Oz has so many powerful messages in it. The man behind the curtain, that's the ego. Once I see it for what it is, I can't buy into it anymore. I can't take this place seriously. Again, today wasn't as much of a shit show as yesterday. But constantly things are happening in the ego world. It's constant, one thing after another, one problem after another after another. A lot of blame, a lot of victimhood. And it's okay, because that's not who I am. It's just a movie that I'm watching. It's just a movie that I'm watching. It's a movie. It's a script. And who I am cannot be touched by images on a screen. Who I am cannot be touched by images on a screen, because this is a movie that I'm watching. The script is already written. There's nothing to fix here. I used to say there's nothing to fix, nothing has gone wrong, and that's true. But like I said yesterday, even if something had gone wrong, even if something here was wrong, which it's not, it's all happening for my greater good. Even if something was wrong, I can't fix it. It's a movie. It's already happened. It happened long ago. The atonement was accepted immediately after the separation occurred. This is all in the book. This is all in the book. Kenneth Wapnick videos. I've been obsessed with Kenneth Wapnick videos. He makes it so simple. And then Keith Kavanaugh is a student of Kenneth Wapnick. So he brings second generation knowledge into it. I've also been listening to David Hoffmeister, but he has a different understanding of the course. And that's perfect, because I like to be holistic with things. I don't want to just narrow in. Like when I was with Master Sha, it was just like everything was Master Sha, Master Sha, Master Sha. And that was necessary. But now I want to be like all encompassing, all around. I want to know all of the perspectives. So it's simple and it's easy, because we're asked to do but one thing. But one thing. Holy Spirit asks of us but one thing. Bring to Him all of our secret thoughts. Because as we bring the darkness to the light, it gets healed. I'm not doing anything other than being willing to look at the darkness with the light. Bring the darkness to the light. I don't ask them to come here. I don't ask Holy Spirit to come down here and help me. I don't ask Jesus to come down here and help me. That's impossible. They can't help me because I'm watching a script. But what they can do is watch it with me. And as we watch it together, it gets unwound. That's the simplicity of it. It's so simple. And people complicate it. The ego complicates it. Where I'm sitting right here, after riding in on a bucking bronco, to this serene peacefulness. It's so simple. Once you start to look at it without judgment, stop trying to fix it. There's nothing, don't touch it. Just look without judgment. Keith Kavanaugh, he blows my mind. He shattered my mind. I've been following him for months, but I was following him before I picked up the book. I had such resistance to picking up the book. No wonder. Keith Kavanaugh, on Halloween, he did a Halloween special, he kicked it up a notch. And he did this analogy with the vampire that was just so simple and so perfect. And then his second, the one after that, he just like he laid a foundation and then built upon it. And so ever since then, I think that one, and then there's three since. He's just been showing you more how simple it is, and then he's bringing people through this process of showing them that they are the awareness. I keep watching. He's brought me through this process several times, just listening to him do it with somebody else. If you put yourself in their shoes, you can go through the process and anchor yourself into I am the awareness. I am the right mind watching the wrong mind without judgment. It's because it's the ego that judges. So if you're judging, you're still identified as an ego, as a body, as an insane thought system. So it's been such a relief these last 2 weeks of just with this peace. Part of the peace is that like I'm so relaxing into there's nothing to fix here. Because I'm a fixer. My ego, the insane voice, total fixer, needs to fix everything. Transformation artist, my dream character, is a transformation artist. And so there's a lot of effort that goes into fixing things all the time. Triaging and crisis management and all of that stuff. So this letting that go, becoming carefree, cared for, carefree, careless, cared for. It's not my job to fix it. Every morning I say, Holy Spirit, show me the way. I let go of trying to fix and control this life, and I ask you to be in charge. I'm really relaxing into that, leaning into that. There's nothing to fix. I need do nothing. It's a whole chapter in the book, a whole section of the blue book. I need do nothing. Beginning, that was part of the bucking bronco. I was fighting that. I was resisting. I need do nothing. I talked about it a lot in the beginning videos. What do you mean there's nothing to do? Look at the fucking shit show. Somebody's got to do something. So leaning into that, there's nothing to do here, nothing to fix, nothing has gone wrong. I'm just watching a script, learning what I can along the way. My other note right here on my computer. I am a happy learner. Everything is a lesson I would learn. Because the ego has this script, right? Sin, guilt, and fear. And as soon as the ego made that script, Holy Spirit made another script at the exact same time to teach us forgiveness. It's like the ego script flipped upside down. I don't quite get that part of it yet. I'm really brand new here. I haven't intellectualized that. I haven't conceptualized that. But everything is a lesson that I would learn. And there's joy there. Like I am a happy learner. And it's so to be carefree. Wow. So leaning into that too, this whole I don't mind attitude. Thank you, Calico. I don't mind. I used to mind a lot about a lot of things. I was an over carer. I'm a recovering over carer. And so I'm becoming carefree because I'm cared for. That's so beautiful. And all of the stuff that's kicked up in my mind, that's the ego. And it's so separate. And Christine said one meeting, it was like it used to be all right here, right? Like you're in it, first person view, like when you play video games. You can have a first person view and then you can come back a little bit and then you can come way back. When you're in ego identification, you're in that first person view and it is you. But learning to step back, fall back into the present moment awareness, non-judgmental awareness. There's nothing to fix, nothing's gone wrong. Just watching. And so the cool thing about this is the more we do this, the unconscious guilt that I'm projecting out, the movie that I'm watching is all of my unconscious guilt. As I look at it without judgment, and I recognize and I'm aware that it's not, I pulled back the projection, it's not them. My other note here, you are not my problem. I am my problem. So all of this stuff that's so upsetting, it's all coming from me. I'm projecting it out. So pulling back the projection, the way I understand it, this is different than some people teach it. The way I understand it, pulling back the projection is recognizing that you're not the problem. I am the problem. This is my unconscious guilt that has come up, and I celebrate that, and I say, Jay, make some popcorn. Here we come. Let's look at this. And as I look at it with Jay, Jesus, or Holy Spirit, I like the term Jay. It's all a symbol, the right mind, which is me. As I look at it non-judgmentally, it gets undone. Holy Spirit does this work. Jesus does this work. Jay does this work. I'm not doing the work. Kenneth Wapnick says people get caught up in the course because they're either their egos trying to do it, trying to do the course, and that's impossible. Egos can't do this course. Or they're trying to do the job of the Holy Spirit. They're trying to undo the guilt. Two tracks. Struggle, struggle, struggle. I'm not undoing anything. I'm the willing participant. I'm the one who's willing to look at it without judgment, with Holy Spirit. Kind of goes hand in hand because it's a split mind that I'm dealing with. The ego is happening at the same time that the Holy Spirit is happening. Two scripts. And I can choose one or the other, one or the other. They're both happening at the same time. I can't choose both at the same time, and I have to choose one. So, I must have chosen wrongly because I'm not at peace. I must have decided wrongly because I'm not at peace. That comes from chapter 5, verse 7, the text. I must have decided wrongly because I'm not at peace. And then one of the workbook lessons is I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace instead of this. And so it's really just so simple. Who I am cannot be touched by images on a screen. And when I find myself being touched by the images on the screen, I get to choose again. Course in Miracles is choosing. Oh, yellow is hard to see. It's also in pencil. Course in Miracles is choosing against the ego. It's that simple. The sole responsibility of the miracle worker is to accept the atonement for himself. Chapter 2, verse 5, down into the 5th. I don't know how you say that. It's chapter 2, section 5, chapter 2, section 5, section 5 of section. It's funny. Anyway, it's that simple. So I've laid it out. I've discovered how simple it is, and then I just practice that, practice that, practice that, practice the simplicity of it. I must have decided wrongly because I'm not at peace. Because who I am cannot be touched by images on the screen. And I can either see through truth or perception. So I'm just choosing against the ego. He keeps offering that we choose again. We can choose again. We can choose again. Just keep choosing again. And also there's this resistance that comes up, right? Can you look at the resistance without judging it? Can you welcome the resistance? Can you look at it? Can you recognize that the resistance is the ego? And once you're looking, this is how it started for me. I was looking, once I started recognizing what the ego was, once I started looking at the insanity of the ego thought system, I was full of judgments. You go back and look at the beginning of these calls, I was full of judgments, full of them. So I was looking at the ego thought system with judgment. So I was the ego looking at the ego. I was still identified as the body. But it happens in steps, baby steps, and Jesus meets us where we are. So he met me where I was, and he so gently and so patiently and so persistently moved me forward at my pace. Did I mention that I watched The Matrix the other day? What a fucking game changer that is. I invite you to watch The Matrix with the Holy Spirit. Did you know that you are Neo? And when you're ready, you won't have to dodge bullets? Seriously. A kid with the spoon. A kid with the spoon. Wow. Wow. I would love to talk to somebody else. I would love to talk to somebody else who saw what I saw in that and heard what I heard. I don't know if that's possible. But if you're out there and you're hearing me and you've watched The Matrix and you get that you're Neo and that there is no spoon, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. I watched Maleficent last night. The power of love, true love's first kiss. True love does exist, but it's quite often platonic. Man, this kind of fucks everything up. It's yeah, I mean, I've never experienced a holy relationship, but I've been in several special love relationships, and what a fucking disaster that is. I just recently watched my ego go from special love to special hate with somebody that I used to love very much. It's amazing. The ego is so fucking vicious. So vicious. Yeah. Yeah, so awakening awareness. That's what this has been. That's what this is. Awakening awareness. I rest in God. Yeah, I love you.